Okay, imagine that this is person A and this is person B, and they have different but basically the same lives. They both go to work, they have okay jobs, they come home tired, they grab a bite to eat, plop down on the couch, grab the remote, turn the TV on, maybe fall asleep on the couch, eventually go to bed, get up the next day, not with a lot of enthusiasm, but still they get ready, they go to work, and they basically repeat the day before. They also have the same basic kind of problem, the same thing that's holding them back, which is, and let's just say, I mean, this could be anything, but let's just say this is too much TV watching. So person A decides to sort of white knuckle it through and comes home, doesn't turn the TV on, does the rest of the evening routine, but heads to the basement, maybe like sorts the Christmas decorations or organizes all the sports equipment or grabs the memory boxes and does some work organizing memories and maybe comes up and flips through Sports Illustrated or through Home Decor magazine, something like that, and then goes to bed. So person A is really sort of white knuckling it through, and they are successful in reducing the amount of television. Person B doesn't think so much about like something wrong with my television watching, but thinks about it differently, thinks about like how tiny their life has become. And so they decide to go on, like, let's just say, like short walks, and maybe they're listening to something inspirational on the walk for 15, 20 minutes or something. Or maybe they pick up a book and regularly read a few pages in it, enough that they finish the book. Or maybe they hop in the car, go to the lakefront, get out of the house, watch the waves a little bit, get inspired to do a little bit of forgiveness. And after a while, look, they're both successful in their efforts. Person A has been able to reduce TV watching. Person B hasn't focused on reducing TV watching at all. Instead, person B is focused on growing their life. Now, if you were to meet both of them, person A's life doesn't look very much different. It's basically the same life, except there's less TV watching. Person B's life, a little more engaged with other people. The conversations are a little deeper, more meaningful. It's a little easier to get out of bed, easier to be engaged and creative at work, more serious about like a side hustle. They're beginning to see how it could replace their job. Also, now imagine that person B is in a position to take a look at that Netflix problem now that they've grown themselves, now that they're more resourceful, now that they're more engaged in their community, engaged in their own life. That Netflix problem in, the next chapter of their life, let's put it that way, probably is going to get managed better. Right now, it's a smaller problem relative to their whole life anyway, and it could be made even smaller because they now are more capable of working on that. Now, I've used TV watching here as the gray spots. Those gray spots, by the way, those three are the exact same size. I know because I copied them. The only one that's been made smaller is the person A's, part two life where they've reduced TV watching. That's the only gray one. The other three are the same size. So you could you could replace TV watching with procrastination or a bunch of crisis management, moving from one crisis to another, or with like an emotional habit, like I'm just too frustrated all the time. I need to get less frustrated, or maybe like too much negative self-talk, or like a I regularly think this thought all the time. I need to stop thinking this thought. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. And they're just trying to not think that thought. So the point of this is, I think that first model, which is it's a pretty traditional model. It's like, well, you got a problem. Why don't you reduce the problem? And the second one is, I think of that as the grow yourself model, or I probably should call it grow yourself first model. You grow yourself, then you can take a look at whatever those problems are later and decide. I always think of it like an organic ways that fit you and your entire life. And my wish for everybody is, especially as we go into this new year, is that you really lean into that grow yourself model, because I think It's more fruitful, it's more fun, the results are more enduring, there's less white knuckling about it. You almost always get more connected to other people in community. It's sort of a, in my view, it's perhaps a longer model, but I think it's more in line with, the kind of person you were meant to be. And that's what makes it enduring. Okay, hopefully that's helpful to you.